Hello and welcome to the C.A.P podcast. I am your host, Carma Spence, the Own Your Awesome in Business and Life Coach. And today my special guest is Maurice DiMino, an award-winning speaker, author, and mentor. He has created a $1 million message template that is used by entrepreneurs and celebrities alike to turn their number one fear into their number one asset. Across the business spectrum, Maurice's clients have sold more products, converted more prospects into raving fans, and they have raised the awareness of causes and charities across America. Now, I brought him aboard because, well, I've worked with him, I've interviewed him, and I've taken his $1 million message intensive, and the stuff he has to offer is brilliant. If you get the opportunity to go to one of his intensive, do it. He's the author of The Art of Public Speaking, and I've actually already interviewed him on video, so I'm not going to have him go into his journey. You can learn about that by listening to that video, which I will include a link to in the notes below. So let's just get started. Welcome to the C.A.P podcast, Maurice.
Cara, it's a pleasure to be here again.
Yes, indeed. So let's start off with just sort of a broad spectrum. What is your $1 million message template?
What it is, it's a template that I designed through over 20 years of being in sales and also on the road contract speaker. What I've come to realize is that we have to deliver a consistent message, whether it's on stage, in person, one-on-one, or one-to-many. Sure, we could be clear, we could be concise, but I wanted a template. I wanted a system that I could follow so that I got consistent results, whether it's someone's signature on a contract, whether it's a yes, let's move forward. I just wanted to make sure that every time I presented myself, be it my product, my service, or my message, I was getting that consistent return on that investment. And what I did is I slowly, and I do have to admit that I stood on the shoulders of giants. I studied with the best of them, Les Brown, T. Harv Eker, Anthony Robbins, and I could have pulled and put together, mashed together this 26-point template. Why? Because again, I wanted to lean, and this is how I look at it, I wanted to lean heavy on something so that when somebody said, "Hey Maurice, what do you do?" I knew exactly what to say, and not only that, bring them on this verbal journey. So not only did they understand what I did, and here's the difference, Carma, with, I believe, me and other people. Not only did they understand what I did, but they understood what they needed to do next. And that's why it's a $1 million presentation template. It helps the listener, the attendee, the prospect to know exactly what their next steps are.
And I remember it took like an entire day practically to really go through it. So I know we can't cover it in 15 minutes, but I also remember that there were nice broad strokes, and that's what I'm hoping we can cover today. So let's start off with the beginning. How does it start? What's the most important first thing?
Great. If I may, let's not call it a beginning. Let's call it what I truly believe we should call it. I know that Toastmasters and other organizations, they call it the opening or what have you, but I believe we should call it the intro, the introduction. This is where I am introducing me to you, to my prospects, to my audience. Let me tell you something. This audience could be online or offline. The first thing we got to answer is this: why should I listen to you? Now, what's built into the template is the answer to that question, and I call it the way. Who are you? A lot of people want to know, why am I listening to you? What's the reason? Why do I have to spend the next 50 minutes a day, 3 days to listen to you? So you want to tell them right at the beginning who you are. I call it your rags to riches story. I have another affectionate term for it, is your Oprah moment.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Because you watch Oprah, and this is where I learned it from. See, I observe life. Every time I watched Oprah, every time there was somebody who was successful, like J.K. Rowling's, Jewel, you name it, Jack Canfield, Oprah would talk to them, they would laugh and have a good time, then the whole place would go silent. Oprah would lean forward, hold onto their forearm and say, "So tell us, how did you get here?" And they would tell us their rags to riches story. Right. Living in a van, living with really rags to riches. Then they had an epiphany. They realized that they had to do something, and they put a system, they put a recipe together. They wrote a book, whatever it is, and then sure enough, they turned their life around.